Hey everyone, welcome back to The Road to Superman. This is episode 83, and today we have some huge news regarding the Superman movie. We have more test screening details to talk about and the trailer release date, but also the massive news that we are getting 5 minutes of footage revealed very shortly. This is huge, and we need to talk about all of this information in today's episode of The Road to Superman. So let's start with the news that you have all been waiting for, the 5 minutes of footage. Major Cineplex in Thailand is teasing the IMAX showing of Minecraft on April 4th will include a 5-minute exclusive clip from Superman. Now this does make sense as Warner Brothers is the studio behind the Minecraft movie and the Superman movie, but 5 minutes is a lot. This does seem genuine as it's from an official cinema company, but 5 minutes seems like a lot of footage, especially when we might be getting a trailer very soon as well, which we will talk about shortly. However, some are saying that half of that runtime is the 2.5-minute trailer, and the other 2.5 minutes is made up of a bunch of Superman clips from the movie or one full 2.5-minute scene. I think I would prefer that to a full 5-minute scene, as whilst promotion has been really quiet since the first teaser, I think that would be us going from scraps to way too much to handle. It would be an overload of information and way too much too soon. You only really show previews like that a month or less before the film comes out, so I think they should only show the trailer and maybe a full 2.5-minute scene in front of Minecraft. The scene that they can show really needs to be impressive though, but I will talk about that in a second, because if the trailer will be shown as well, then the scene used with it will need to match the tone of the trailer, but also not feel too repetitive. So when will this trailer release and what should it show? Well, we talked about the trailer releasing on April 1st at CinemaCon, which Warner Brothers are confirmed to appear at, and Superman is rumored to be talked about there as well. So the trailer releasing then makes a lot of sense. And now with this Minecraft news, I think this just furthers that belief. You wouldn't release that trailer in front of the Minecraft movie, but not release it to everyone worldwide beforehand or on the same day. So with a huge event like CinemaCon happening on April 1st, it makes complete sense for them to release the trailer at CinemaCon and then release it in front of Minecraft on April 4th. We also have just got special emojis for the Superman hashtag, and that only happens when we are getting some big Superman promotion. So I think it is basically nailed on for a Superman trailer to release on April 1st at CinemaCon, which is exactly in a week's time, and that is really exciting to think about. So now we have decided when the Superman trailer is releasing, what should the Superman trailer show? Now let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and for me, I think this trailer needs to show a lot more hope and more dialogue. The teaser was really showing the struggle that Superman will go through. Apparently it mostly shows things from the beginning of the movie, but this main trailer can't do that. I think it needs to have more dialogue in it so we can get a rough idea of the plot of the movie and the relationships of the characters and the tone of the film, but also some really hopeful moments from Superman. And on the tone, that is one of, if not the most important thing to convey in this trailer. There has been a lot of talk from a lot of people about the tone of this movie. Some saying it's going to be nothing like the Guardians of the Galaxy films, and others saying it's going to be another comedy from Gunn. Whatever the answer is, Gunn needs to present that authentically in the trailer. From the first teaser and even the first poster with the score attached to it, the tone I got was a serious and magical one. A film that was really the beginning of a powerful and hopeful and inspiring Superman that wasn't filled with jokes. Since then, we had the jokey Guy Gardner clip, which to me was a poor bit of promotion, but it did present his character well, and we know every character won't be like that, but we have also had many murmurings since the trailer that lots of humor is in the movie. So that Guy Gardner clip and the rumors we had since has strongly contradicted how the first teaser represented the movie. So basically for me, this main trailer will be what will make me decide whether or not those reports were reliable and if I will trust them going forward. Because I think it would be very difficult to hide that level of humor in a full-scale trailer, but it would be very easy to get a strong sense of the tone for the movie. After that first teaser, this film felt serious and not like Gunn's previous films, and that got me really on board with this movie. So this trailer has the capability of doing that even more and silencing a lot of people who have been claiming this film is Guardians of the Galaxy but with Superman. And I really hope this trailer does that, but it also has the capability of doing the exact opposite. If this full trailer is filled with comedy and funny moments, then I will believe the reports that this film is basically Guardians of the Galaxy but with Superman. It really has the power to be the make or break for this film. And something for me personally, I also want this trailer to make the costume look great. I want it to show me why Gunn chose this costume design and execution for his Superman. I'm not a big fan of it and was hoping that they would make it fit David better in post, but we haven't had that yet, and so I think the cinematography and directing and story needs to make the suit look as good as it can, and I hope yet again that the trailer does that. I also think the trailer needs to reference the corporate suits the other heroes are wearing. That would be a perfect way of showing the audience that these costumes are just like this for the story, and we shouldn't worry about the quality or design of their suits being a direct presentation of the quality of this movie, because I think that is how many are feeling right now. It would also really help contrast Superman from the corporate heroes, which gives us a taster of the conflict of ideals these heroes will have, whilst really not divulging much at all. And now we've talked about the trailer, what about the rumored clip or clips that will also show with the trailer in front of the Minecraft movie? For me, I think it needs to be hopeful or really powerful, something that just screams Superman and complements the trailer. The difficulty is that with some scenes it will only work well within the context of the movie, and so out of context it could really feel random and not help convince the audience to go see this film. So I think maybe if there is a scene early on in the film that shows Superman saving someone, then that would be a great scene to show. It presents the heroism of the character, and I think that would be a great way of connecting audiences to this new version of Superman, whilst also not revealing too much from the movie. And I think it would be best for the order to be the scene and then the trailer, rather than the trailer and then the scene, because I think the scene could be what sets up the trailer, like here is a taster of the movie and then bam, here is the full new trailer. I think that format would be the most beneficial for audiences, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But now onto the test screening details. The full thread revealed is kind of spoilery, so I won't go into that, but fortunately DC Film News has shared the least spoilery moments from the thread, and like they say, take this with a pinch of salt. So the person claims, not a comedy but did have funny moments in it, characters aren't who people think they are, and online speculation is dead wrong. Now for me, this full thread kind of feels like guesswork. A lot of these things we have heard before, and the rest of the thread sounds like things you could have made an educated guess on based on the information we have already heard. But two big claims are that characters are not who people think they are, and the online speculation is dead wrong. That's intriguing. I think the most popular theory is that the Man in Black is Ultraman or a clone of Superman, so according to this thread, that isn't the case, and I hope they are right. It would be great if we really have no idea what this movie is about, so hopefully this source is right about that. They also re-emphasize the claim that the movie does have funny moments in it, but isn't a comedy, and we seem to be hearing that quite a lot recently. Whether or not you believe that is up to you, but I'm going to be optimistic and say I think that is true. I think there is a high chance Gunn went a little over the top, and the first test screenings made him realize that, but on the whole, Gunn knows this character and knows how important he is, so I don't think he has turned this movie into a comedy. So I think this film will have humor in it, but not as much humor as people are expecting, and will 100% be a different style of humor to what was in the Suicide Squad and Guardians movies. I think it is really interesting what has gone on in the DC fandom recently. I think what has happened is with the lack of promotion since that first teaser, and with us getting that jokey Guy Gardner video at the Super Bowl, and that dodgy looking flying clip, it has been really easy for people to share negative scoops about the movie, and for others to believe them. And I think the studio is to blame for that. It is their job to persuade people to go see this movie, and when you think about all the promotion they could have been doing since that first teaser, and then look at what they have actually done, it really has been below par. I'm not saying they should have been releasing full-scale trailers in that time, but they would have known that certain people would want this film to fail, and would be sharing or creating negative rumors about the movie. And with DC's current weak reputation, those rumors are far more believable when there is little evidence to contradict them. So I think the studio could have really utilized that time in between the first teaser and now by showing people why they should go see this movie. I've said it before, but I'll say it again, I think the Super Bowl was a massive missed opportunity where they could have just shown a new 30-second teaser for the film that really impresses audiences, and fills in the gap between the first teaser and now. And when we were hearing Gunn was going to show a special preview of Superman at the Puppy Bowl, but all we got was a Guy Gardner joke video, I think it really put a sour taste in many people's mouths, and has allowed allowed people to believe those negative scoops far easier than they would have if we had really impressive new footage released instead. So these negative scoops have become quite believable with the combination of hardly any new footage since December and the footage we have had since December being quite disappointing. So hopefully, if the new trailer releases on April 1st, it can silence those scoopers' reports and put fans' minds at ease by showing a really impressive trailer. Now that is all the news we have currently about the Superman movie, but if anything else comes out, I will keep you guys updated with it all as soon as it arrives. But that is all for today's episode of The Road to Superman. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss an episode. I hope to see you here again soon, so until then, have a great day. Bye!